I was there on D-Day and went in with the second wave in the combat. I was only in combat about 3 weeks. I got severely wounded and had to get out and go to the hospital.
The patriotism back in the 40s, 1940s, was entirely different from today.
Walking straight into hell. That is how one survivor of the invasion of Normandy described the day. On June 6, 1944, 160,000 Allied troops on landing crafts from 6,900 ships landed on the beaches of Normandy, France, in what was to be the largest naval operation in world history. The purpose of this large-scale invasion? Covering 50 miles and 5 beaches, to begin the drive to force the occupying armies of Nazi Germany out of France. The Nazis were prepared. The beaches had been littered with tank traps, mines, fortified gun emplacements, and thousands of battle-hardened troops. Allied soldiers had to fight their way through deep waters and riptides. Upon reaching the shores and then onto the beaches, they faced razor-sharp barbed wire, booby traps, and steep vertical cliffs, all while under heavy fire. Many died that day. And while the army was hitting the beaches, 13,000 troops parachuted into the French countryside prior, the night before. Their purpose? To seal roads, bridges, and destroy Nazi artillery. This effort would protect the invasion and beaches from German counterattack. Nonetheless, the casualties were high. Historians today are still calculating the dead. Rough estimates are 4,400 Allied troops, soldiers, and sailors and airmen who all died that day. This harrowing journey was more about surviving than killing. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Terry, founder of Pacific Prowler Nonprofit. As we watch the crew prepare the Southern Cross for flight, one can't help but think back on how many times this ritual was enacted to prepare the planes that would take our boys into war. One can only imagine the fear and anxiety those men felt loading into that airplane, knowing that they were going to jump into heavily occupied areas where there would be no escape and no quarters given. Many veterans of that battle have signed the interior of the Southern Cross. One such veteran flew a C47 in every major battle of World War II. During the invasion of Normandy, he flew no less than 4 times, taking off at 2 a.m. on June 6th and not resting until after midnight on June 7th. This was all-out war. The beaches had to be taken. Our invading troops had to be protected from the enemy artillery coming from the interior of France. As they landed on those beaches, failure was not an option. 13,000 troops secured the countryside that night. All these men sacrificed some, many sacrificed all. It's just fitting that we remember them and we honor them and that we teach our children what they did. Greatest Generation Aircraft feels the best way to do that is to keep their memory alive by maintaining and preserving a piece of their history. We are asking for your help to do just that. We are going to fly the Southern Cross across the North Atlantic Flyway to Normandy, France, to honor those men on the 80th anniversary of their D-Day invasion. We will possibly gain worldwide recognition for our veterans by completing this historic flight. But we need your help. The cost of fuel, oil, spare parts, radio equipment required by the European Union can exceed $500,000. We can do this. $50 here, $25 there. We can do this, but only with your help. Please help us honor those who took back those beaches for our freedom that day, 80 years ago.
Patriotism was something to behold and something to be proud of back in my days. Today, I guess I could say not so much.
We shall never forget.